Good Lord, y'all. How are you? It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Welcome once again to the show. I, of course, am the one and only Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud, and clear on a lovely Wednesday evening. How are you? And good evening to you. Who's out there? Let's see. On to Excess, Orbital Air, Brandon Keene, and I'm sure some other folks of you are out there lurking and hiding. But welcome everybody. We are waiting on the arrival of the Viking hat. GM himself, of course, that is the one and only Mr. Kyle. That is Mr. to you. He's going to be running us through some adventure good fun tonight, and I'm looking forward to that, as are we all. But if you haven't already, guys, and I know some of you haven't, but if you haven't done this already, would you please do me a favor? Would you please that's what I wanted. There we go. Would you please do me a favor and click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications if you haven't done that. And that would be just spiffy because we have such awesome sites to share with you guys around here. 5 night a week TTRPG live streams. We have guests, we have live plays, we have fun, we have giveaways, we have contests. It's a whole lot of fun, basically, and I would very much like it if you guys would join us. Pending the arrival of Kyle, my beautiful Australian co-host, we will be playing his little tabletop wonder, his little 2x6 slice of awesomeness, the post-apocalypse, yes, but TTRPG. So I'm looking forward to that. Back in the green room, I've got a couple of people chomping at the bit, ready to play that. So that'll be us and Kyle, 3 of us. That's right. He's going to be game mastering it, and I'm really looking forward to that. Damien247, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. Now, I want to bring up something just real quick. Unto Excess asked about this. I have a feeling I will want to know about an auction in a few more minutes when we're here. Yes, well, we are still swinging for the fences to help our buddy, friend of the channel, Jack the Lost Lore Scholar. He is currently needing a hand up, needing a little bit of an assist. And by gum, we're going to do that. So if you haven't already, if you would please show Jack a little bit of love. I just pasted in the chat his Ko-Fi. Is that how it's pronounced? I always thought it was a clever play on coffee, but then I hear people saying Ko-Fi. So I'm not 100% sure about that. But be that as it may, Ko-Fi, coffee, however you want to pronounce it, guys, it's right there in black and white, or whatever your default colors on your screen are. You can click that link and you can go over there and you can contribute to a man who's expecting his first child. He's going to be on mandatory paternity leave. Mommy's going to be on mandatory maternity leave. So they're going to need a little bit of help, especially considering they have phantom automobile problems. They only bought the car because they wanted to be able to have kind of a quick reaction vehicle should the baby need anything, rather than rely on trains and buses and lorries and trolleys, I think they say over there in the UK. So if you could do me a favor and click that link, follow that link over there, and throw a few pence, a few pounds sterling, whatever units they use over there, but help the young man out. Now, maybe you want something a little bit more out of that, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay, because guess what? This coming Saturday, that's right, this coming Saturday, we are going to have a little bit of an auction. That's right. It's not going to be live streamed. Don't I am not doing this as a channel membership drive, guys. We are looking forward to doing a little auction. It's going to be on Discord when noon to 10 p.m. Saturday. It's going to be an unattended auction by me. I'm not going to sit there and moderate bids and listen to people say, "Hey, go ahead and put me down for 10 more bucks." That we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We are actually going. I'm going to let you guys handle this, and you are going to sign into the Discord. You're going to go to the auction room when I open it, and it will open no earlier than, no later than 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time. And what is it, you might ask, that I am auctioning off? What is it that I am auctioning off? Well, it's two things. One, as Unto Excess is kind of dancing around very humorously, ha 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 ha. One of them is a reproduction, and I should point out, in hard resin, a reproduction set of dragon dice, not the collectible dice that TSR published for a while, but they're buy them outside of the box set dice sets. You remember the ones, the crumbly blue or green or red or orange or yellow plastic. I think some were even brown. But you'd get the crayon, you'd color them in, and they would then fall apart over the course of a summer, and then you'd have to go buy more, hopefully. These will not. Rose, who created the beautiful dice for our holiday dice advent calendar, Rose is in fact making these from high impact resin. That's right. You can wing these at your players and put a dent in their head. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. But she is crafting those dice. She is casting those dice. I requested powder blue because that is what I'm most nostalgic for. Maybe you got green, maybe you got red. I'm sorry if that's what you got and you would prefer that. But regardless, there's that. And Unto Excess asks, will there be crayons? You bet you there will be crayons. So that is there will be an included white crayon with the dice. Now, I said there's two things, and the dice are certainly exciting. And by the way, the minimum bid on the dice starts at $35 US. There's a D4 in there on 2XS. Absolute. You know what? People talk about the D4, and it certainly is the most effective foot puncturing die of the polyhedrons out there. But honestly, if you step on a D6, it's going to hurt. If you step on a D12, it's going to hurt. A D8 is right up there in the running. D10s, oh baby, you better believe it. Even a D20. Look, these are hard chunks of plastic. They're going to smart, so don't step on them. The next thing you shouldn't step on, just because it is a fragile thing. It won't hurt your foot, but it'll hurt your heart if you win it and step on it. And that is one of these. That's right. The other auction item is a reproduction wood grain original D&D set. That's right. And these are the same ones that I have donated to our friends up at Page, and one I'm donating to EggCon, and one I will be donating to Claricon for their auctions. And I will be auctioning one again off at Guac this spring. That's April 9th. And we're going to auction one off on Saturday. Also, all proceeds for this set go to Jack. This is none to me. There's no process and shipping. This will go to the winner of the auction. Now, I'm going to tell you what. I want to maximize what we can do for Jack. So I will tell you right now, the minimum bid on this set is $75. Okay. The opening bid is $75. And I've had someone come forward and say they intended to open the bid at $75. They intend to bid $75. So assuming that they're in And assuming they let me know, this will start at $75. So 76 bucks it will start at. And guys, these are really awesome sets. I love these sets. I made them myself. Of course, I'm going to say that. You have an original Dungeons and Dragons rule set in here. You have an original Dungeons and Dragons rule set in here, and you have a copy of Chainmail. So if you want to use the alternate combat system, that is the D20 grid, or if you want to use the 2x6 combat system as laid out in original D&D, you can. And this is, let's jump zoom to this. You can see this is a wood grain reproduction set. It's got the white sticker on the spine. It's got the front sticker. Now, interesting bit of history about these. Hello, Bob Jester. Good to see you. Interesting bit of history about these. They originally, this was typing paper. This was printed on typing paper that they used glue to stick on. So when you see these reproductions, you see pictures of this on the Okium, you drool at these over historical websites. This is yellowed. This paper is yellowed. It's because of the glue. It's because of the glue that they used to hold it on. These should not yellow for a good long time. This is a vinyl. This is an inkjet printed vinyl sticker, as is this. So these won't turn yellow and get brittle and potentially fall off. At least they won't for 50 years. And let's be honest, I won't be alive at that point, so it won't be my problem. But for the here and the now, these are really, really good sets, and they got some fun stuff in them. You can game with them. I recommend gaming with them. Don't just set them up on your shelf as like a fake bearskin wall hanging or something like that. And, I bought this in the sporting goods store at Zayre's. No. Actually, I want you, if you win the auction for this, game with it. Do yourself a favor and game with it. So, and it's all, again, to benefit young Jack and his wife, the most excellent Foxy Vixoon. No, I don't think that's her actual name, Foxy Vixoon. But yeah, so not going for a lichdom. No, there's no phylactery that comes in triple XL, so it won't fit me, won't help me. Our firstborn accepted. No. I don't. They've already got the one on the way. Let's see. Ryan Nowicki, though, says, found a very weird class combo: warlock, druid, alter, self invocation, wild shape, quadruped, reactivate, alter. Those are words. Those are certainly words. I see those words that you wrote, and I see them there, and I go, words. Of all the words I've read, Ryan, those are some of them. Good luck with that. That's all I can say. Now, one thing I can tell you is if you're a druid and you shape change into an animal and then you shape change back into a person, it gives you 1d12 hit points back. Or no. I'm thinking polymorph self. Druids actually gain back what is it? Let me see here. I want to say it's like 3/4 of the damage. You know what? Let's look it up together, because we're a channel that's all about TTRPGs, and so we're gonna check that out. The Druid's shape change ability while we wait on Kyle. I think the only shape change ability in Yes But is the ability to change from a live shaped person to a not live shaped person. But we'll find out tonight when the AK bullets and the 22 rounds and the RPGs start flying, which in this case means rocket propelled grenade, not role playing game. So let's see. Yeah, what is that? So okay, so here we go. Here's what it is. Share screen, window, add this to stage. And so it says, This is at 7th level, initiate of the 5th circle. So this isn't just like right out of the tube, something you get. Each assumption of a new form, okay, the ability to change form up to 3 times a day, actually becoming in all respects, save the mind, a reptile, bird, or mammal. Each assumption of a new form removes from 10 to 60% d6 multiplied by 10 of the hit points of damage, if any, the druid has sustained prior to changing form. So 3 times a day, you could kind of cycle through this to pump your hit points back up. That's something you could do. But I honestly, Ryan, I don't know about I don't know about the other stuff. That's a little too new for me. You can say, okay, boomer, that's a little too new for me. Up, hang on just a second, guys. I will be right back. I will be right back. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Can you multi-class druid in one? I would say that. So, who can be a druid? Let's see. Well, you know what? Let's scroll up and see what classes are available to whom. To whom. So, scroll back a little bit. So, let's look here. Okay, so multi-classing is the purview of demi-humans, of course, by which I mean half-elves, halflings, half-orcs, dwarves, elves, gnomes, of course. So druid, half-elves can be unlimited in druid, which makes perfect sense. And since half-elves can multi-class, one might think that they can do that. But let's scroll down a bit and let's look at half-elves. Sorry for giving you guys scoliosis. Okay, here's what half-elf can multi-class. A character of half-elven race can also opt to become a multi-class character, i.e. cleric fighter, cleric ranger, cleric magic user, fighter magic user, fighter thief, magic user thief, cleric fighter magic user, oh, I missed cleric ranger, or a fighter magic user thief. So there's nothing in there about dual class or about multi-classing as a druid. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Humans may dual class. And I would say, as long as they remained neutral, they could dual class from a class to druid, following the strictures of druid behavior from that point forward. Now, here is an even edgier case, and that is one of my favorites. And I'm going to scroll to this. One of my favorite things of all time. By God, if I ever get to play a long-term first edition advanced D&D campaign, I hope I have the ability, the chance to do this. And that, boys and girls, is, of course, one of the most awesome classes in first edition AD&D, and that is the Bard. That's right, the Bard. And why is that relevant to druids, you might ask? Well, let's see here. Let me move you guys over here so I can still see what's going on. But while I read this also, As this character class subsumes the functions of two other classes, fighters and thieves, and tops them off with magical abilities, it is often not allowed by dungeon masters. Even though this presentation is greatly modified from the original Bard character class, it is offered as a supplemental to the system, and your DM will be the final arbiter as to the inclusion of bards in your campaign. And then, of course, we have the bard, yada yada yada. But then we come to the class, the meat of it themselves. Bards begin play as fighters, and they must remain exclusively as fighters until they have achieved at least the 5th level of experience. Anytime thereafter, and in any case, and in any event prior to attaining the 8th level, that is the 5th, 6th, or 7th level, they must change their class to that of thieves. Again, sometime between 5th and 9th level of ability, bards must leave off thieving and begin clerical studies as druids, but at this time, they are actually bards and under druidical tutelage. Bards must fulfill the requirements in all the above classes before progressing to Bard's Table 1. They must always remain neutral, but can be chaotic, evil, or lawful neutral if they wish. So, bards can kind of, sort of, a little bit dual class, but they cannot multi-class. They cannot multi-class. Not the witch. I'm not as much as I love the witch class. That's Dragon Magazine 5, 20, 42, and 114. Those are the issues of the dragon that she appears in. I do not think that they are allowed as a druid multi-class. Things in Dragon Magazine get a little sticky because then it's like, what do we assume as far as what's canon and what's not? And then you wind up with a whole weird unearthed arcana like situation, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants unearthed arcana. So, oh, was it issue 43? Okay. I thought I might miss one of those. You assume we can dual class with an owl bear. That's how we got owl bears in the first place. No more dual classing with owls or bears. My goodness. Stephen Kennedy says, I never let bards or psionics in my AD&D game. Boo! Boo! Boo this man! But no, that's fine. I get it. Not everybody's down with that sort of thing. I absolutely understand the disallowing of psionics, but I would say that bards are perfectly cromulent, but I get it. Let's see. Joe Kaufman asks, was Snow White a bard? Sarcastic. Trying to think of an example of a bard who is in tune with nature. Feudor Flam. If you've ever read The Chronicles of Prydain by Lloyd Alexander, I would say Feudor Flam was the quintessential AD&D bard. I really would. When the rubber met the road, Feudor Flam could fight like nobody's business. And yes, his loot was magical. And yes, he could play, and his behaviors did inspire people. He could identify things at a glance. Orpheus is a bard who charmed animals. Well, there you go. There you go. North of the Rockies, bringing it in from right out of the sun with the quasi historical mythological look there. See, I don't agree with that. I would say Snow White, if anything, would have been more of a druid, but that's just me. That's just me. I don't think she didn't do anything particularly bard-like. And she spoke with animals. That's about it. But again, that's just my opinion. We're still waiting on the arrival of Kyle. So hopefully he will be able to jump in. I hope nothing has come up. Usually he will ping me if something has gone. He cast Charm Dwarf. There you go. So what's a connection with the druid to the bard? So I think if we go back and look at the historical bard, you know what? This is kind of a good little discussion topic for the show while we're waiting on Kyle. Fafhrd kind of a bard. Yeah, Fafhrd is kind of a bard. Oh, I'm glad for you on 2XS. That's great. But yeah, Fafhrd is actually noted as having bard levels in deities and demigods. A skald. He's a skald, a lyricist, if you will. But let's see. So strategic review number 6. Let's see. Let's, you know what? Let's take a look at it. All right, here we go. So we can dial this up. It's all on archive.org. Waiting. Here. All right, so February of 76. Here we go. I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna share this so you guys can see it. Hi, Kabuki, good to see you. Is Jack Burton a bard or a thief? He's a fighter. Jack Burton is a fighter. So let's see. Let me peel this off here. And you know what? I'm gonna download this real quick, guys. I'm gonna grab this as a PDF. And let's see. Where is it? Oh, heck with it. We'll just do this. We'll just make it full screen and I'll share it that way. All right, so here we go. This is the Bard character class. The Bard character class. Yeah, I never played Dark Sun, Steven. And don't worry, I'm going to zoom into this as best I can because this is Fight in the Skies, War of Wizards. All right, so here we go. Here is the Bard in the February 1976 Strategic Review. Now, I think this Bard here, I think this was leaning more towards the Fafhrd and Grey Mouser kind of Bard. DM Blackwall, hello, good to see you. DM Blackwall, maybe you can answer a question for us, my friend. Bards in your game or not? Inquiring minds, we're all about bards tonight. Let us know. Bards in your game or not? Let's see. A bard is a jack of all trades in Dungeons and Dragons. He is both an amateur thief and magic user. Note, magic user, not user of magic, not wielder of spells, magic user. And that is a very specific class. Scalds, I love it. I love it. That's great. That's you're selling me on it, brother. You're selling me on it. I'm looking at having you on real soon. So let's see. On again, I should say. But anyway, he does have the thieving abilities as a thief of one half of his level, rounded off to the lower. Let's see. But yeah, this is not the AD&D bard. This is not the AD&D bard. And Gary gives us a little bit of I'm sorry, Doug Schwegman here gives us a little bit of background information. I believe it is a logical addition to the D&D scene, and one that I have composed is a hodgepodge of at least 3 different kinds: the Norse Skald, um, the Celtic bard, and the Southern European minstrel. The Skalds were often old warriors who were a kind of self-appointed historian whose duty it was to record the ancient battles, blood feuds, and deeds of exceptional prowess by setting them to verse, much like the ancient Greek poets did. Tolkien, a great Nordic scholar, copied this style several times in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. For example, Bilbo's chant of Arundel the Mariner. The Celts, especially in Britain, had a much more organized structure in which the post of bards as an official historian fell somewhere between the Guelphi or the public recorders and the druids, who were the judges as well as spiritual leaders. I think we now see the druid sort of gliding in. Yes, Bob, I'm aware this is for OD&D. Let's see. In the Celtic system, bards were trained by the druids for a period of almost 20 years before they assumed their duties, among which was to follow the heroes into battle to provide an accurate account of their deeds, as well as to act as trusted intermediaries to settle hostilities among opposing tribes. By far, the most common conception of a bard is as a minstrel who entertained to courts of princes and kings in France, Italy, and parts of Germany in the latter Middle Ages. Such a character was not as trustworthy as the Celtic or Nordic bards and could be compared to a combination of thief illusionist. Thence, and the thief kind of coming in there. Let's see. These characters were called jongleurs by the French, from which the corrupt term juggler and court jester are remembered today. I wanted to put the bard into perspective so that his multitudinous abilities in Dungeons and Dragons can be explained. I have fashioned the character more after the Celtic and Norse types than anything else. Thus, he is a character who resembles a fighter more than anything else, but who knows something about the mysterious forces of magic and is adept with his hands, etc. And that I think goes back into the topic I was mentioning, Lloyd Alexander. Well, I mean, the Chronicles of Prydain are essentially Celtic myths. If you've read them, I mean, there's Erwin the Death Lord. The Black Cauldron itself, of course, is steeped very heavily in Celtic myth and so on. So I don't think it's that big of a leap to say that plays into the bard, both Doug Schwegman and the first edition AD&D bard. Welsh specifically. Yes, good catch, north of the Rockies. Newly single on Friday. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Kabuki. Well, I'm sure it'll work out eventually. Oh, new single, a new music single. Okay, that's different. Sorry, I read it differently. Bards ended the 12th century. That's pretty powerful of them. They just stopped it. But anyway, Rendezvous in Avignon by Clark Ashton Smith featured a troubadour, a vampire slayer. I like it. I quite like it. But anyway, so there's a little bit of bardic information for you, and I hope you guys appreciated that info. I feel like there was something else though that we were going to discuss about bards, but I've gone blank. But if you guys have any questions while we wait, while we're waiting here to see if Kyle shows up, I do want to point out, folks. Let me do a quick refresh here. We are at, drum roll please, 9,284. We are 16 subscriptions away from 9,300. We are slowly but surely, we're running up that hill. We're running up that hill. A request to God. What is it? A bargain with God. God, please let me get 10,000 subs soon so that I can kick off the scheduling of a name and date for the guac. And what is the guac, you say? Well, let me tell you. Please let me tell you. It is the Great Underground Overland Gaming Convention. Thank you very much, Kabuki. The Great Underground Overland Gaming Convention. Guys, when this channel reaches 10,000 subscriptions, which we are less than 700 away from now, well, a little more than 716. Look, the important thing is we're very close, okay? But when I hit 10,000 subscriptions here on the channel, we're going to celebrate that milestone. I am going to plan and execute, after which, depending on how bad it goes, I should probably be executed. The Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, and in real life gaming con right here in Central Florida that you can attend, fly, drive, walk, crawl, raft, paraglide, helicopter, rocket assist, jetpack, teleport, beam, right here to Central Florida, and you can join us. We'll have tables for gaming, we'll have snacks, we'll have contests, we'll have an RPG tournament. You guys can come and you can stay. Now, unlike the guac, which is free, the guac is not free, but I'll figure out what you have to pay for the guac. And I keep saying two things. No, you're not going crazy. But of course, come April, we are having the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. That is the free online version, and we're going to do that on Discord. That's going to be an absolute blast because it's going to be very much like a con. We're going to have merch. We're going to have an auction. We're going to have guest speakers in panels. And of course, we're going to have gaming tables you guys can hop on. And the beautiful thing about this, guys, is you're not going to be restricted to just like, okay, well, it's after midnight, I guess we can't keep gaming. It's not like it's a convention hall that people are going to lock up. Okay. So let's say you're in, I don't know, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, India, China, Japan, wherever you are in the world. I want you to bring your group to guac, and I want you to game there. Maybe there's people in your part of the world you didn't know about. You can meet them there in the Discord and sign up and game and have an absolute hoot, just like an owlbear. You can have an absolute hoot at the guac. We've had fun for all the years it's been running now. We are coming up. This is guac 5. Guac 5. The 5th one we'll have done, and I am looking forward to it. So I hope you guys will all attend that, and it's very easy to find. All you have to do is join us over on Discord. Let me bring this up, guys, real quick. Just going to scroll down to it. Let's see. Invite people. So we're gonna copy that, and I'm gonna slide back over here. Where did you guys go? Too many winders. So right there, join us over on the Discord. Now, here's the thing. You might ask, how do I register for the guac? What do I do? Guess what? Follow that link. You're registered for the con right there. You're now a con attendee. That was easy. So the question may come, how do I sign up for a game at the guac? That's a little different. We're still waiting on Kyle. So if you guys would like me to show you how to sign up for games on the Guac, I will gladly do that. But it's really easy. All you have to do is go to the open games list, find a game you like, and tick the little green tick box. You're signed up for the game. Bada bing, bada boom. It's just that simple. If you want to run a game, there's a couple, 2 or 3 extra steps. We can get into that later. Unto Excess asks, what if I missed the earlier guacs and wanted merch from the previous years? Dungeon Minister's got you covered, guys. Dungeon Minister is the purveyor of fine guac merch. We have got our logo for Guac 5 is in design right now. So hopefully it will be a world beater. We've had Sky Hernstrom. By the way, Sky is this year's or one of this year's panelists. Sky will be he did last year's Dungeon Minister, has done years before, but we're still finishing it up. But Dungeon Minister's spring store is where you can go. He and I split the proceeds from that, so half to him, half to me on your t-shirt, pint glass, tea back, dice bag, vinyl sticker, mouse mat, whatever merch you want, you can order it from his store. And like I said, we split the profits. So get yourself some guac merch. Be out there on stage wearing guac merch. Wouldn't that be awesome? Just go about your business in guac merch. People will be like, what is guac? Why is he wearing, excuse me, good sir, what is guac? And you can do that. You can absolutely do that. So, and I you know what? Thanks to Spring, thanks to print on demand, as long as Dungeon Minister wants to keep hosting the old guac logos, and if he ever says I don't want to do that, I will ask him for that image work, and I will host it up on my own Spring store. If he doesn't want to do the guac merch hosting, we will make that happen unto excess. Fear not. Fear not. So we're still waiting on Kyle to pop in. We've talked about bards. We've talked about guac. Have we talked about guac's wrestling in, or bards wrestling in guac? Clear out your search history if you guys go Googling that now. Let's see. But what else is going on? So we have tomorrow open. We will be, let's see here. I'm scrolling up here. Yo, DM Blackwall, you still out there? DM Blackwall is he is going to be coming on the show real soon now. We just got to arrange a date. Now he's actually been on the live stream before. DM Blackwall has, and I'm looking forward to having him on the show again. We met up at Page, and really great guy. Horde Wars is actually a pretty cool game. Okay, you're still there. So but this is my endorsement. Horde Wars is a good game that I would play. It is a good fantasy game that I would play. Fantasy RPGs fall into 2 categories with me. But I have Dungeons and Dragons. And well, no, I would play this. Horde Wars is firmly in the latter category. I would play Horde Wars. I have played Horde Wars. We had so much fun. I played a semi-ridiculous but very serious and very, very heartfelt noble warrior type Joe Kaufman was there. He'll back me up on this. I had a horse that I put the people we rescued from the goblins on the horse, and I sent the horse off, and he kind of did the what was the horse in Rapunzel? Just kind of looked at me like, ugh. I was like, no, take them, go. We fought goblins. I yelled at people to get up off the ground. I'm not saying I carried the day. I'm just going to say if there had been MPV trophies, I may have been in consideration. So I quite liked Horde Wars. It was it was an interesting system. And geez, calm down, DM Blackwall. Just all the talk you're doing out there. Let other people speak. Goodness. No, I quite like Horde Wars. It seems like a very solid system because, and you know what, I got to tell you, people have asked me, people have asked me like, you know, Bill, have you tried Shadow Dark? And I'm like, I haven't yet. No, it's on my list, or have what's there's Shadow Dark, and then there's something heart, dagger heart, or this or that or the other. And I'm like, guys, I have got a ton of fantasy RPG playing left to do just with this stuff up here, just with the AD&D. To pump my brakes and to pivot to a new system, that's a big deal for me. Okay? And let me let you guys behind the veil. Let me bring you guys over here for a second. I want to answer a question that was up here. Joe Kaufman had a question for me. But I'm going to come back to that. But I want to bring you guys on this side of the curtain real quick for just a minute. I think there's a misconception that all I do is play TTRPGs. That I just take a little bit of time out of TTRPGs and sit here for a couple hours a night, but then I turn around and I dive back in, and I pull all these books down and I just paint miniatures and I just have fun. I would love to. Have I tried OD&D with all my favorite mods? Yes. I play AD&D all the time. I would love to have that. To have that, days would have to be 48 hours long. A single day would need to be 48 hours long. I do 3 short videos a day. And guys, I'm not bitching and I'm not whining. I'm just outlining the way things are. I have work I'm supposed to be doing for Yang. I have work I'm doing with Heidi Gygax and Eric Garland. I am already behind on the modules, the mini modules for the Master Thief levels of Patreon and for YouTube memberships. And all of that, and then there's the short videos that I do. If I didn't mention those, have I mentioned the short videos? And then there's prepping for the show. And then I have a family. I have a life. I have things that I have to do during the day. I'm gonna answer your question in just a minute, Kabuki, because I think that's a good question, and I need to talk about that a little bit. I would love to do nothing but sit and play TTRPGs all day. I don't have the time. I simply don't. No, I don't have the time to play Shadow Dark. I don't have the time. I don't have, and this is not a rail against new stuff either. Like, oh, I'll make the time to play some old TS. No. If somebody came to me and said, hey, you want to play, of course I can't just reach up and put my hand on it now because I want it and I've been looking at it for weeks every time I go past this. Hey, do you want to play Modern Warfare? Yeah, sure. Let me see how my schedule's looking in 6 months, and maybe I can eke out a couple hours to play Modern Warfare or Tractics or Chainmail or jump into your OD&D game. I'm here for you guys, and that's not a complaint. This is what I chose to do. This is what I chose to do. So when you say to me, have you tried? I promise you I probably want to. I guarantee you I don't have the time. But there's stuff that's so good that I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to do thing X on Sunday. I'm going to do thing Y, which is the thing you said. And Horde Wars is one of those things that like it scratches a couple of itches for me. So I'm looking forward to that. So to answer your question, Kabuki, have I considered trimming down the shorts? 2 a day, maybe. If it was still going gangbusters like it was back in November and December, absolutely. I'd be like, you know what? I can pull back to the first detent. I've still got enough thrust off this thing, but I can't because it's actually running out. I don't dare stop now. So, Joe Kaufman asks, anything I pull from Unearthed Arcana? Okay, so Unearthed Arcana, I like cantrips okay. I like I like cantrips just fine. Most of the additional spells bar stone skin, I like okay. The magic items, I love the fact that like all the magic items scattered throughout so many modules after the release of the Dungeon Master's Guide. And let's be honest, before the release of the Dungeon Master's Guide, like a simple +1 dagger, there are no XP or gold value stats for it in terms of reward. Hey, RPG Grandma. RPG Grandma, can I have an oatmeal cookie and a glass of milk, please? But I love the fact that those things are in there. I appreciate that Gary made an effort, like with the cleric spell casting. If you look in the Dungeon Master's Guide, there's a price list of I need a cleric to cast this, NPC cleric to cast this, remove curse, raise dead, resurrection, restoration, heal, augury, yada yada yada. There's a whole price list for what you should be charging. And Gary says in thank you, RPG Grandma. But Gary mentions in Unearthed Arcana, through oversight, he didn't create a list likewise for magic users. And he addresses that in Unearthed Arcana, but he throws a simple formula that I think leaves stuff being way too cheap. No magic user should be casting enchanted item and permanency for anything less than thousands of gold. But Gary's got it like material components plus 300 per spell level or something like that. It's not a good price. It's not a good price. I don't like it. And I know he was in a time crunch. I know he's in a very serious time crunch because he was trying to save his company from crashing and burning. But there we are. So I like all that stuff. I'm okay with a thief acrobat. I'm okay with the demi-human level limits being raised. So you know everything I'm okay with. Now let's talk about what I'm not okay with at Unearthed Arcana. There's the barbarian class. The barbarian class is the most stupid. Well, that's because that's what my character would do. I don't like them at all. I don't like drow as player races. Uh, I don't like. I really don't like cavaliers. Well, okay, let me pump the brakes on that a little bit. I'm okay with cavaliers. I'm not okay with paladins being under cavaliers. Cavaliers are arrogant and vainglorious, focused entirely on the self. They are a direct inversion of what a paladin is. Keep the paladin as their own class. Let cavaliers be their own class, or keep paladins as a fighter subclass. I think Gary just wanted to have like ranger as a subclass of fighter, and then paladins is a subclass of fighter. I think he wanted to create the cavalier and have a subclass of cavalier. I don't like that. No paladin would subsume himself to to uh to cavalier authority when cavalier authority permits chaos and evil. You can be an evil cavalier. And paladins just wouldn't have that. They wouldn't be bound to an order like that. So I that is that is a lot of it for me about Unearthed Arcana. On to excess with the question: can weapons be permanently silvered? Absolutely. The Dungeon Master's Guide, or the Player's Handbook has listings for silver dagger and silver arrows. Why not a silver sword? Or a silver mace, or a silver bardiche, or what have you? Why not? I would say it's going to cost you more, like triple. Well, you know what? Let's look at this. Let's hang on. Let's take a look at this. I think right now on the spot we can come up with a weapon silvering rule by looking at what gets silvered and what doesn't. All right, so let's take a look. See here. So arrow, silver, single, 1 gold piece. So basically, it's 10 times the price of a normal arrow. 10 times the price of a normal arrow. So 10 times the price of a normal arrow. If you use that, if we come over and we look at, say, I don't know, a dagger and scabbard, 2 gold pieces, 20 gold pieces. A javelin, 10 silver pieces, that becomes 100 silver pieces, that becomes 5 gold pieces. Now, some stuff that's just not going to fly. Like, you know, I don't know. Well, hell, I don't see why any of this stuff couldn't be silvered, actually. So a trident, nominally 4 gold pieces, 40 gold pieces. Scimitar, 1,550. Now that may seem a little harsh, but remember, it's not just like you're just dipping it in molten silver and then handing it back to the player after it cools off. It has to be worked into the metal, otherwise it's worthless. The first time you hit something, it just goes flaking off. Good for one application. You're making a strong alloy or trying to make a strong alloy out of silver plus whatever, heavily silver, but it still has to be strong enough. So I just say multiply the price times 10, like they do with arrows. What do you guys think, though? What do you guys think? You guys let me know. I would love to hear your point of view on that. RPG Gen Exile, hello. An alchemist would have to electroplate the silver. Yeah, it's gonna cost more, whether it's electroplated, whether an alloy is made. It's all going to work in there, and I think the 10x multiplier for the item is perfectly acceptable. I thought I could have sworn up and down. Let's see something here. It daggers in there a lot. Dagger. I thought there was a listing for silver dagger in the player's handbook, but it turns out there's not. Can a player make their own weapons like in Oriental Adventures? Yes, if the player has the secondary skill. Let me see here. I gotta look at this. So secondary skills table. Yeah, I mean the silver you would need to make a silvered weapon in AD&D. I mean, you could make the argument that literally one silver piece melted down and formed into a point as a silver arrowhead. But it's the manufacturer. So armorer, bowyer, Fletcher. I would think on the secondary skills table, if you are a bowyer or a Fletcher, you could make silver arrows. Otherwise, you're gonna have to hire a let's see. Robert Santon, that is entirely acceptable. So if we look, let's see, expert hirelings, we have alchemist, armorer, blacksmith, engineer, architect, artillerist, sapper, miner, jeweler, gem cutter. We have all the types of mercenary soldier. And then there's weapon maker. They are 100 gold a month. Cost does not include all remuneration or special fees. Add 10% for unusual items. so on and etc. So a weapon maker would be required. You couldn't just do it yourself. It is a very specialized field. Doc Flamingo, good to see you. Reading on ritual sword making, the crafting time, materials. I remember Terry Pratchett had a sword made, and he actually had it made from meteoric iron. And I remember he was overseeing the process of making it very intently, and he pricked his hand and bled into. He's like, "Oh yes, blood. That's very important stuff." So I don't know that Terry Pratchett actually is a wizard, but God bless him. He wanted his sword to have special properties, and meteoric iron with some of his own blood mixed in there. That was the stuff. I have heard. Now, this would be a great question to ask one of our Tuesday night players, Thane Kyle. But I have heard that mixing blood in to the metal actually did a thing. It added carbon and iron in a unique mix back in the day. But I don't know how true that is or is not. I gotta look that up. That's actually, you know what? Let's see. First of all, uh, about Terry Pratchett's sword. Make sure that I've got this right. So first of all, he buried it somewhere because the British do not permit you to own large blades. Your country is a failed state. Anyway, let's see. So here's the story. This is just a reminder that when Sir Terry Pratchett was knighted, he dug up his own iron ore, learned to smelted it, added meteorite iron, learned to forge, and forged himself a star metal sword, as you do. And then he put it away somewhere safe so he wouldn't violate any UK knife laws. So but I don't see anything. I don't see anything about wanting to about mixing blood in. But I have a very specific memory of him like dripping blood into it. I could be wrong. FMKT8WG. I'm just gonna call you FM. Well met Dungeon Delver. His name is spoken with his team. I agree in good faith. How do I fare this day? Could be better. Could be worse. Let's see. RPG Grandma says, we talked about applying cursed and blessed rules to sci-fi games as representative of the quality of the thing. So a cursed gun jams more often or malfunctions regularly. Maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't think you'd want to quench with blood. I mean, there's a lot of sugar in it. There's a lot of, I think it would introduce a lot of impurities. Generally, you want oil. Most people think it's water. Take care, Kabuki. Namaste, my dear. Thank you for being with us this evening. Certain cultures will quench in blood, but is not believed to any more effective than water. Urine quenching was said to increase hardness. That's I probably got my wires crossed, Doc, and that is what it was. Joe Facetious. Good evening to you, weird person. A cursed gun, so a Tokarev. I was thinking Nambu, a truly cursed gun. Yes, let's just have the sear stick out the sides. So if you slap it against your leg, it'll fire. The Nambu was such a poor pistol that I have heard reports of it like shots bouncing off at range, like pew. Yeah, or anything Keltec. Hey, our guns eject the shell casings downward. Okay, so onto my hands and feet. That's helpful. Your TV and DVD player came on for no reason. They're trying to compete with me. They're trying to compete with me for your entertainment time, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. By the way, there are 37 of you beautiful people out there watching on YouTube. Thank you all very much. Guys, if you haven't done so, if you haven't already done so, please, absolutely click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. I would love to see number go up. I would love to see number go up. So, I am thinking, guys, at this point, because we're an hour and 15 minutes in, we're probably going to be Kyle-less. So I just kind of want to open the floor to you guys. We hope everything's going on with him. But I'm just going to open the floor to you guys. What are your AD&D or TSR or general RPG related questions? Go ahead and ask me. I got something recently. I'm going to have the creator on. Sorry. I know you guys can't hear me when I put my back to the mic, but I do. Go on. Hang on a second. I have this. I got this in the mail around Christmas. We did kind of a mail call about it. This is Dragon Slayer. Now I assume that it is Dragon Slayer and not Dragon's Lair, which would be a game about bards. But this is a pretty interesting RPG, because if we go up here to the front of Dragon Slayer, what do we got here? This is not a deep dive. I'm just kind of interested in seeing this. What are our classes? Well, let's look at our races. I don't know. I'm starting to worry. I hope Kyle's okay. The Harkonnens got Kyle. No. Kyle got the Harkonnens. So we have human, Cyclops man, dwarf, elf, gnome, halfling, half elf, half orc, and cleric. No, that's just that. So we get one additional race over D&D. Then we start off with our classes. We've got clerics, druids. This druid's looking like Rob Zombie. Check this druid out. He's over here. I guess you guys can't really see it. Julianos the Mad God, about to run an Oriental Adventures campaign. Any advice? Hang tight, Julianos. I'm gonna pause that. Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm hoping the kids are okay. I'm hoping Kyle's okay. I hope everything's okay. And this is some good, very fetching art here. Monk. Monk is a class. That's cool. Fighter. Dungeon Tower Games. Good to see you. Barbarian. Paladin. Ranger. Magic User. Illusionist. Thief. Assassin. Alignments: lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good, lawful neutral, neutral, chaotic neutral, lawful evil, neutral evil, chaotic evil. So we have the 9 alignments. We have most of the classes plus 1. But let's see. I'll put this back here. Because again, we're gonna have Greg Gillespie on the show. And we're gonna talk about this. All right, let's see. Robert Santon just got your Arduin box. So anyway, Julianos the Mad God says, you're about to run an Oriental Adventures campaign. Any advice? You know what? Just if you're okay. Full up confession time. I've never used Oriental Adventures in AD&D. I never have. I've just played core AD&D. But with that said, I should maybe recommend check out some classic samurai movies. I would definitely look at Seven Samurai. You can't go wrong with that. Oh, hang on a second. I must type a message. Yeah, but I'd check out Kurosawa's movies. Now, this is not Kurosawa, but this is rather by Haruki Kadokawa. It is called Heaven and Earth. It is an historical samurai movie. I really, really recommend you check it out. If you're gonna lean into the fantastical, someone just said, hit the anime shows for ideas on Japanese demons. Oh, by the way, guys, I did hear from Kyle. He was he was out this week, so everything's okay. Everything's okay. So we love you to pieces, Kyle. Just glad to hear from you, and we'll catch you next week. But yeah, I would check out just any of the classic samurai movies, Heaven and Earth, which I guess it's 35 years old, so it's technically a classic samurai movie. Yes, there was a Chinese. It was actually a big budget production that had like what's his name? Matt Damon in it. Now there was a 47 Ronin movie that is not based on the historical 47 Ronin. I would maybe read an English translation of the 47 Ronin. Now I'm about to blow your mind. I'm gonna tell you something here. The Drow. Well, no, let me back up. Loth and her handmaidens, Japanese. Okay, hear me out on this. Um, there were, are there were in Japanese myth a class of spirits, and they were not always evil. Sometimes they were. Sometimes they were just lustful. Called Jorogumi. They were a type of shrine maiden or shrine demon, depending on your translation. They were ghosts that could appear as beautiful women. Um, and as the name implied, they would hang around temples a lot. Uh, One of the Jorogumi was a spider with a beautiful woman's face. The Yokalal, which let's be completely honest with each other. Let's be totally above board. Yokalal and yokai, those words sound very close. But the Yokalal, the handmaidens of Loth, could be beautiful women. They could be amorphous and ghost-like. That's your Jorogumi right there, guys. Okay. They pretty much are. So you can bring in Loth and the handmaidens and even Driders if you want. And it's right there, a little known Asian influence. So there's definitely there's definitely some potential. Oh, and let's see. You've also got just straight out of the or the player's hand. One more time. The monster manual. The Japanese ogre, the ogre mage, they're Oni. There's Kirin. Gold dragons are very Asian. That's just to name a few. Dragon turtles. No, you're quite welcome, Joe. Oh, you're quite welcome, Julianos. You're quite welcome. And understand, I have no deep, deep knowledge of like there's people who would just beat me up with samurai movie stuff. I'm gonna let you in on another little secret. Star Wars. Star Wars. Lucas was really taken with Kurosawa's work. The Hidden Fortress, Princess captured, taken to a fortress. The hero, accompanied by two bickering farmers as his sidekicks, has to go rescue her. There you go. There you go. So I hope that helps. I really hope that helps. And something else. You don't have to get a one of the rare copies of Deities and Demigods to get this. In fact, I would just grab Legends and Lore off of Drive Through RPG. They have a Chinese and Japanese myths section in there that Jim Ward did a lot of good homework on the Japanese and Chinese myths. And in there you find the most powerful of any deity in the D&D pantheons. Kuan Yin, the Chinese goddess of, does anyone know? No fair peeking. If you know it off the top of your head, that's fine. Kuan Yin, she is the most powerful, more so than Azathoth or Cthulhu or Odin. She's the Chinese goddess of, not quite, Joe. Not quite. Joe Facetious, rather. I'll wait just another second. Ooh, do you have that good one, Julianos, that you could just like send off to a printer and get yourself a copy of? Oriental Adventures in Karatur. Do you need it? All right, so I don't see anybody saying it. Joe Facetious was closest though with peace. Kuan Yin is the Chinese goddess of childbearing and mercy. Of childbearing and mercy. So you might think childbearing and mercy, how can you say she's the most powerful? What, does she just birth babies and throw them at the monsters to keep them occupied while she stabs them? No. She is the Chinese goddess of childbearing and mercy. And she cannot be harmed by any act of violence by any being in the universe. No act of violence can be directed at her at all. None. It states she could walk through a hall filled with 100 of the most powerful demons and devils and fear nothing. She could stroll right up to Azathoth and suffer no harm. Cthulhu, get away from me, squid face. She's that powerful. That renders her immune to everything. But again, I will say that deities, demigods, or legends and lore, because again, even though they slowly stripped stuff out until it was like 100 pages or something, hence mercy, hence the smugness. But she was you can get the Chinese and the Japanese myths. You get the stuff from the monster manual that you need from there, the Asian themed monsters from there. Throw in Loth and her handmaidens. Just recast them as something else, as just shrine maidens. Like Loth is a very powerful shrine maiden. Obviously, you may not want to have Drow and Loth and all that nonsense, but you've at least got a template to work from there. Same with the handmaidens, the Yochlol, and you're. I mean, even without Karatur or Oriental Adventures, just allow monks, allow assassins, rebrand assassins as ninja, or ninja as assassins. Yeah, exactly. RPG Grandma. And you're all set. You are all set. We're rats, absolutely. So that's my recommendation. That's what I think. How I think you should approach the manor. So hit me up, guys. Any further questions? There are 44 of you guys watching over on the tube of you. And it really is all about setting. I mean, we're playing Blade Runner on Friday nights, right? It's myself, Yang Yan Zhao. Of course, I'm GMing. Yang Yan Zhao is playing. Stephanie's playing, and a new guy, Jason, has joined us. And honestly, the system could be. We could just apply the system to the Old West, or to 1940s detective movies, or to World War II spy flicks, or to modern day detective stories, whatever. But it's all about selling a setting, and that's what I try to do. So Blade Runner is a lot of fun. It's an interesting system. I'm going to try tomorrow to pick up a physical copy see if I can locate a store nearby that has a physical copy. Maybe I'll go down to Gods and Monsters. That's 5421 International Drive, Orlando, Florida. Gods and Monsters. This is an entirely unsolicited ad, by the way. I just love Todd and Anna that much. 5421 International Drive. If you're in the Orlando area, please go check them out. Tell them Bill sent you. It won't get you anything. It'll just put a smile on their face. Or maybe it'll put a smile on your face. But yeah, I do recommend it. So I may snip down there. I'll have the car. I may snip down there and see about picking up a copy of the Blade Runner RPG if they have it, so I can have a nice physical copy to page through. I don't like reading TTRPG material like out in the house if I'm just sitting down relaxing, unless unless I'm going to be like just sitting in one place. Like, you know, if I'm going to go back in the bedroom and kick back for an hour or something like that, I want a physical book to read, right? If I'm going to be back here in my office, I want a physical book to read. A digital book is great for GMing, particularly when I'm online. I've been told modules cover quality weapons. Do any of the hardcovers? I'm not sure I follow you on 2XS. If I could add a class in 1E, real or imagined, well, all classes in 1E are imagined, you silly person. What would I bring in? Thinking the Bard and Unreleased Jester. If I could add one, oh, that's a good question. Huh. I might allow. Oh, that is a really good question now. No. You made me think. I hate that. I don't know. I'm pretty satisfied with how 1E classes work. I don't, you know. Some people have said, hey, why not bards right from the get-go? I don't like bards right from the get-go. I like that to be something you work towards. Oh God. This is embarrassing, guys. The witch, absolutely the witch. Hell, I wrote a witch. Absolutely the witch. Joe Fassi, he was like that when, yeah, you're damn right. How would a witch work and differ? Witches have very specific spells. They have spells of attraction where they can engender, no pun intended, they can drive a person that they focus their desires upon to heights of passion, shall we say. I love candle magic for witches, where they can make candles that can have certain effects. I love the circles of witches, a white circle, a gray circle, and a black circle. they're kind of unique. They're kind of magic user druid combos. There are some unique spells to them. I quite like them. Probably mine unto excess, but maybe if somebody said, well, not yours, yours sucks, I would take I would take the issue 114 witch, Bill Mulhausen's final witch class. Somebody got on to me in the comments when I was talking about the fact that the witch was never given in AD. Guys, when I say AD&D, I mean first edition. I'm an evil witch or good witch. I'm a sandwich. Which is running a brothel. Absolutely. I like the way you think, RPG Grandma. A friend of yours studied drunken boxing? Hell, you can go down to the Handlebar on a Saturday night and get all the drunken boxing you want, Joe Facetious. Oh, gosh, let's see. Robert Santon. Bought modules U1 through U3. Want an honest opinion? I have played them years ago, and as a kid, I found them to be a lot of fun. They're low level. They're a good entry point. They're in Greyhawk, always a plus. The first one is a fairly harmless haunted house, but it's not really. Ooh, I can't believe I forgot that. I think Dr. David Howard is lagging behind a little bit, but yes, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is a very good one to add to the list. I was hyped for Bulletproof Monk, and then I saw it in the theaters, and I was like, "This sucks. This was a waste of time. I hate this." Running the U series right now. First two are great. Third one is in progress. Your players are struggling. All right, right on. Um, let's see. I'm just scrolling up here. I'm catching up with y'all's comments. Not a fan of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Joe Facetious. Witches! More witches. What would be a good module to bring into Boot Hill? To bring in Boot Hill Cowboys. Yes, Robot Jocks is awful. God bless Charles S. Band. He tried, and if you squint, you can actually see bits of Macross models stuck into the pieces they use. So a good module to bring it. Oh, I'll tell you straight up, Valley of the Guanji. Oh no, yes, for a module, I was thinking movie. Well, it's a bit of a stretch, but Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, hear me out. The previous adventuring group went through, or maybe your adventuring group went through, you tampered with some of the electronics, the space warp engines activate and open a portal, a gate, and cowboys come through it. So there's a possibility. Yeah, I've heard good things about Kung Pao Enter the Fist Dungeon Tower. Kung Fu Hustle was so good because like there were so many fun like Western um horror tropes or Western movie references rather. Like there's a Shining reference in it. Um Shaolin Soccer. Shaolin Soccer is I don't like soccer, but that movie was so much fun. Shaolin Soccer. Kentucky Fried Movie, another good one. But yeah, Soccer is a good one. Megan's yeah, Kung Fu Hustle is good, but Stephen Chow, Love on Delivery, older but great. Yes. How would I handle the stunt common to Kung Fu movies in the AD&D game? Have I seen Duel to the Death? No, I haven't. How would I handle the stunt common to Kung Fu movies? Could you clarify that, Damien? I'm not sure. Yes, a fistful of yen. One of the first Kung Fu movies, one of the first Kung Fu movies I ever saw as a kid was actually not a Bruce Lee movie. Although you should definitely check out Bruce Lee's classic movies. Enter the Dragon. That's a must. But definitely check this one out. It's called Kill or Be Killed. I love Kill or Be Killed. Good night, Dr. David. Be well. But yeah. Here's a little bit of trivia since a lot of you guys are talking about martial arts. Now, I've never practiced martial arts or studied it or anything, but somebody help me out here. What is the Korean martial arts? No, don't say Sinanju either. Um, Taekwondo. Thank you. Joe facetious macrame. Taekwondo. So there was a there was a practitioner of it. I don't know if he's still with us, but he had a lot of schools of it around Central Florida, and his name was YK Kim. YK Kim, and they filmed a Taekwondo martial arts movie here in Orlando in the Orlando area in the 1980s, and he starred in it. YK Kim, look him up. Let's look him up together. Yes, Samuel L. Bronkowitz. Take him to Detroit. I love that part. Let's see. YK Kim, martial artist. All right. I'm gonna share this up with you guys, and we're gonna look up old YK Kim right now. Yes, the Kung Fu Wars, and I want to come back to that. Yes, big. Oh my gosh, somebody was asking about Kung Fu Star. Big Trouble in Little China. Oh my gosh, if you're not watching Big Trouble in Little China, what are you doing with your life? Anyway, so YK Kim is still with us. That's wonderful. Let's see here. Oh, wrong thing. There we go. All right. So he currently resides in Florida. He was the main actor of the film Miami Connection. Okay, so that's the one that they filmed here. He's a black belt at age 13, among the youngest in Korea to do so. He taught and studied in Korea. In 76, he moved to Buenos Aires, and he taught there. In 77, he moved to New York City and to Orlando a year later, where he opened YK Kim's Taekwondo. I remember that, his first Taekwondo school. The school became the Martial Arts World, a franchise that Aaron Sullivan of the Orlando Weekly described as the McDonald's of martial arts schools in Central Florida. The school was originally on Robinson Street, then on Mills, and then its current location on Colonial Drive. As of 1988, Kim only claimed ownership of the East Colonial Drive School. As of then, the schools are part of the American Taekwondo Foundation, which Kim founded. The Federation establishes the philosophies and rules used by the schools within the Federation. And they produced Miami Connection. Originally, the film had a very limited release with no significant attention. The Alamo Drafthouse Cinema redistributed Miami Connection, leading to a positive reception and subsequent cult following. And back in 2002, they wanted a Korea pavilion in Epcot, which I would take over the Canada pavilion any day of the week. So there you go. RPG Grandma, the Black Dragon Society. Yes. So this was all right. How many of you guys remember getting a comic book back in the 70s or a comic book from the 70s and read about this ridiculous seeming Black Dragon Society featuring Count Dante? So yeah, you could study the Black Dragon Society thing, but there were actual Kung Fu wars in the United States. Yeah, the real Black Dragon Society. This merits a discussion since we're going down this road. Let's see. I'm gonna bring this up here. Oh, for God's sake. Wikipedia's interface is such ass. And everything about Wikipedia is ass for the most part. So, all right, here we go. Count Dante. Here we go. So Count Dante, looking for all the world like a lounge singer over there. John Timothy Keehan. There you go. Irish. Yes, the infamous Count Dante of Ireland. To be Marine reservist and join the army. Look at you, man. Deceased 1975. Well, what happened there? Kandrew, disillusioned with conventional karate instructions, focused on ceremony, tradition, and protocol over what he felt to be effectiveness, and began developing his own style that he would promote as street effective. Through these efforts, he developed a system that became known as the Dante system, or Dance of Death, or sometimes the Kata Dante. Theoretically, by learning all the steps of Keehan's Dance of Death, you would thereby become an effective fighting master, the deadliest man alive. He changed his name to Count Juan Rafael Dante, explaining the name change by stating that his parents fled Spain during the Spanish Civil War, changed their names, and obscured their noble heritage in order to effectively hide in America from Spaniard anti-royalist communists. Keehan was prone to boast that furthered his reputation, his most notorious one being that he participated in secret death matches in Thailand and Canada and China, winning by killing opponents in front of crowds numbering in the thousands. He began by promoting himself via comic book ads as the deadliest man alive. One had only to mail order his instructional booklet, World's Deadliest Fighting Secrets, in which he outlined the dance of death, to also receive a free Black Dragon Fighting Society membership card. These comic book ads account for much of Count Dante's lasting notoriety in pop culture. And I would do this in the Alex Jones voice, but my voice box is about to fall out. It would take a very significant super chat to get me to do that. But there's the ad. You guys can read it on screen. The Black Dragon Fighting Society, founded by Count Dante, is an American martial arts organization and has no connection with and should not be confused with the Japanese Black Dragon Society, an ultra-nationalist secret society during the 30s and 40s. I would not want to confuse those two either. He sold a lion to a guy that bit him and hung up on him. Yes, he was the first Bullshido master. Too bad I don't have a low power radio station. I'd be a local Orlando sensation. Oh no, this I can reach tens of people on the internet. Let's see, but then we come to the Dojo Wars. The Dojo Wars, the various enmities culminated in the Dojo War incident of April 24, 1970, where Dante and some of his students performed a dojo storm on a Green Dragon Society's Black Cobra Hall. Did people really? Okay, all right, hang on a second. Let's stop for a minute. A bunch of you guys have been talking about martial arts out there. Is this for real? Green Dragon Society, Black Cobra Hall. Are you yanking? Are you yanking me? Actually, there's 54 people watching tonight. That's enough to cram into a small country church. I feel vindicated. But has anyone out there like gone to a dojo and then been like, oh, the Green Crane Dojo are our enemies? Why? Because they're on that side of the street. Anyway, so according to press coverage, upon entering the school, they claimed to be police officers and attacked the rival dojo students. The brief battle resulted in the death of one of Dante's friends and fellow sensei, Jim Konsevic. Former mob lawyer Robert Cooley states in written autobiography, When Corruption Was King, that he represented Count Dante during the trial following the 1970 Dojo War incident. Cooley recalls that Dante was ultimately acquitted, but not before both sides were given a stern lecture by the judge, citing everyone at fault. Cooley also suggests Dante was a mastermind in the notorious 1974 Chicago Pearl-Later vault robbery, in which the amount of $4.3 million was stolen. While not one of the suspects in the trial, Dante was allegedly questioned by an Illinois grand jury and ultimately passed a lie detector test. He died shortly before the trial was completed, which resulted in the conviction of all but one person involved. And he had a bleeding ulcer that took his life in May of 1975. Boxed Out Games, good to see you. No one does this anymore. Okay, all right. I wanted to know. I wanted to know. But yeah, so the Count Dante ads, let me see. Let me. I just want the picture. I don't want to watch your video. Oh, here we go. Okay. So someone has and good for them, by the way. Someone has made an ad of this on eBay. If you happen to want this. Is it going to? No, it's not. All right. Gonna share it again. There you guys go. This is on eBay. That is the ad. Used to be able, let's see, for rush my free brochures on Count Dante's and the Black Dragon Fighting Society books, supplies, and equipment. I enclose 25 cents to cover postage. As a special bonus for ordering early, I will receive a free Black Dragon Fighting Society identification card. See above card. Well, there you go. There's old Count Dante himself. Undefeated Supreme Grandmaster of the Fighting Arts. He won the world overall Fighting Arts Championship, Master and Expert divisions after defeating the world's top masters of judo, boxing, wrestling, kung fu, karate, aikido, etc. in death matches. On August 1, 1967, the World Federation of Fighting Arts crowned Count Dante the world's deadliest fighting arts champion and master. So you can get yourself a little metal wall poster of Count Dante if you want. The Ko-Fi address, yes. Ko-Fi.com. Yes, that is for Jack. And guys, I'm going to wrap up because it's getting late, even though there are now 57 of you guys watching over on YouTube, and I absolutely appreciate that. Saturday, El Sábado, as they say, we are having a little auction over on the Discord. We will be auctioning off a wood grain OD&D set for Jack Lost Lore Scholar. We will be auctioning off a repro set of dragon dice. We've been saying dragon a lot tonight. Of dragon dice resin reproductions of the classic TSR color them in yourself dice. The dice start at $35 minimum bid. The wood grain set starts at a $75 minimum bid. So you don't want to miss out, guys. You don't want to miss out. Let's see. Yeah. Seagal's Hapkido stuff is stupid. It's ridiculous. He's a stupid, ridiculous person. Although he got rich, so who's the stupid one, right? All right, guys, I will be back tomorrow night. We're going to have a lot of fun. Friday night, we are doing, of course, Blade Runner. Hey, look at that. We're at 92.85. Thank you, whoever clicked the subscribe button. I do appreciate that. But I will dip on out of here. And you know who has the deadliest kung fu of all, guys? You know who is the most deadly martial artist practitioner of Bear Shido? That, of course, is the one and only Owl Bear. Peace. Good night. Love you all.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.